One issue, 2 points of view. Agora.
In Strasbourg, the Dutch MEP Ria Oomen-Ruijten and her French colleague Hélène Flautre are among those in the European Parliament most closely interested in the question of Turkey. With just a few weeks to go before the European Commission's annual report on Ankara's candidature, and after the constitutional reforms adopted in last month's referendum, the two agreed to meet on Euronews to put forward their points of view. The future relations between Turkey and Europe. That's this edition of Agora.
What I see now, many Europeans fear that Turkey's role in the region is more pro-Iran as it was up till now. So how can we convince a European stand also in foreign politics for Turkey? Because people have fears. Perhaps they are not always good informed, but they fear that there will, at the end of the day, be another Turkey with more ties to Iran as ties to the European Union. And
Yes, but this fear is manufactured. It's been created by Europe itself. Because I believe really that a number of declarations from politicians at the highest level in Europe are having a devastating effect on the pro-democracy movement in Turkey.
Sur la mobilisation pro-démocratique en Turquie. Il faut se féliciter de pouvoir accueillir demain.
It would be a good thing to be able to welcome into Europe tomorrow a Turkey with a regional role. And I was even going to say, if you remember Gaull's visit to Africa, Erdogan's trip to Latin America, even an international role at the highest level. In fact, we only have reason to celebrate that, don't we?
Réjouir de cela, non?
Our foreign minister have a stand in the Iran dossier. And in the moment that Turkey is negotiating with Iran and comes to another result as the Europeans on the sanctions towards Iran, because of the violations on the democracy, violations on human rights, then there is a friction. And I think that these frictions can only be solved if Turkey also comes nearer to us. From the Turkish side, they always want us to come to our commitments. So I think that foreign relations, Ankara Protocol, Cyprus dossier, if there is a solution there, then there will also be a better commitment of some European countries who are thinking now that Turkey can't become a member of the European Union. Because that's the conflict between the two. It's on two sides.
Tu citais la question de l'Iran.
You're talking about Iran. As for me, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of the European reaction to the negotiations opened by Turkey and Brazil with Iran.
La Turquie et le Brésil avec l'Iran. La Turquie, c'est quand même le premier
It's a top priority for Turkey. If Iran has a nuclear bomb, then Turkey's in the front line.
Donc la Turquie ne veut
So
absolument
Turkey absolutely doesn't want it, and no right-thinking person could think that Turkey would take risks with that option. That's why then Turkey has negotiated with Brazil, and they've negotiated what exactly?
Extrêmement étrangement à ce que
Something that seems, oddly enough, extremely akin to what the European Union, the United States and the United Nations want to negotiate with Iran.
De ne même pas répondre, de même pas prendre
And what's the reaction been to not even answer, to not even consider these elements of agreement? I think it's a scandal. It's the reaction of arrogant countries, annoyed to see what other countries, which are on the face of it declared less important on the international stage, are able to achieve. This type of reaction is awful because it makes public opinion in Turkey question deeply these arrogant Europeans who themselves aren't able to consider an agreement which is vital.
Sur ces Européens arrogants qui ne sont même pas capables de considérer un accord qui était très... Non, mais c'est très important.
It looks like the relationship of Turkey towards their east is more important as a relationship, a good neighborly relation. It looks that's the public opinion, and there's in some countries political opinion. It looks me more important as solving the crisis together with Cyprus, for instance, because that is of major importance also for a membership in the European Union.
Tu as raison. Les négociations.
You're right, the talks are slipping because the way forward is blocked because the Cyprus question hasn't been resolved. Okay, so that's true, but the opposite is also true. That is, if tomorrow there's an effective, convincing and concrete possibility of Turkey's membership and significant support for that, then the conflict with Cyprus will be resolved. The two go hand in hand.
Les deux se tiennent.
In the moment, 2004, when Turkey was permitted to be a candidate member of the European Union, there was also this agreement and protocol which should have been signed by Turkey. What was it? If Turkey wants to be a member of the European Union, wants to negotiate on that, then at least they have to recognize that the European Union has 27 members. And they can't say, I only want to negotiate with 26. Huh? So therefore, solving the Cyprus issue is of major importance. And even when we would put some steps, it's of major importance to unblock. Yeah, and then afterwards we can decide upon, because it will take. You know that, I know that. It will take years and years before the negotiations with Turkey are closed. Because a lot has to be done.
I don't know. Turkey has between 5 and 10% annual growth. It's a young country. You know, if you wait for years and years, Europe will become much less attractive. Things have to move really quickly.
I tell my citizens, at least, in some years, we need all the young Turkish engineers on our labor market. So that's true. But Turkey...
C'est les jeunes Européens qui vont aller en Turquie.
Turkey is a country with many young people, but it's also a country which the differences between the regions are enormous. So if you want to develop the whole country, because that is necessary to have a stable partner, a new partner in the European Union, then we have to do something, and Turkey has to do something, and it will take time.
I don't know if there are more differences within Turkey than there are, for example, in the European Parliament over the Roma. I'm not sure.
Je ne suis pas sûre.